So, here's a question I've been mulling over. If you could go back and give your younger self one nugget of advice, what would it be? I've been thinking about this a lot lately.
Honestly, that's something I wrestle with too. For me, I think I'd just tell myself, it's never too early or too late to build your life around Jesus. That idea of putting him first would have changed a lot for me.
That's a powerful answer. It's so easy to put things off, thinking there'll be a better moment. But there's really no wrong time to start making that shift.
Exactly, and it's wild how much the timing doesn't matter. Whether you're in your teens or your 70s, there's always room to recenter around something bigger than yourself.
Building on that, I keep hearing people say, put Jesus first. But sometimes I wonder, in the chaos of life, what does that actually look like on a day-to-day basis?
For me, it comes down to priorities. Like, before I grab my phone in the morning or get lost in work emails, I check in with God first. It's a conscious choice, even when I'm tired or distracted.
I love that image, making him the starting point, not just an afterthought at the end of a busy day. That takes intentionality.
Absolutely. And it's not just mornings. I'm talking every area: finances, ambitions, even how I plan my schedule. If I don't put him first, something else always sneaks in to take his spot.
Now, you've mentioned how putting Jesus first can actually change everything. Can you share a bit more about that? What's so radical about that shift?
What's wild is, it's not just a surface level change. When I've truly put him first, it's like there's this sudden, deep transformation, almost like he rewires how I see the world and face challenges.
That makes sense. It's almost like letting go of the need to control every outcome and trusting that there's a bigger plan at play.
Yeah, and the cool part is, he can even break patterns that keep you stuck. Habits, thought cycles, or just that feeling of being lost. It really is a foundation shift.
You touched on feeling lost. There are so many moments in life where we just feel utterly broken or alone. What does faith offer in those moments?
When you're hurting, it's easy to believe you're on your own. But Jesus actually described himself as someone who came to seek and save what was lost. That's huge for anyone wrestling with pain.
It's comforting to think rescue is possible, no matter how far gone things feel. I think a lot of people need to hear that hope is still on the horizon.
Definitely. Following him means healing. And it means finding hope even in the messiest circumstances. That's something I've held on to in my hardest seasons.
Funny you should mention hope, because sometimes it feels like life is just one storm after another. How do you keep your eyes up when things get rough?
I remind myself that the story isn't over yet. There's this perspective, almost like reading the last page of a novel and knowing we win in the end. Even in the pain, there's a bigger victory coming.
There's something so freeing about that. Just because things aren't perfect now doesn't mean they'll stay that way forever.
Exactly. And if everything isn't right yet, that just means God's not done working. It helps me keep going, even on the darkest days.
That actually reminds me, so many of us try to build our lives on other things, like our jobs or relationships. Why do you think it's so tempting to substitute those for a genuine foundation?
It's honestly just easier in the short term. Careers, finances, even social status are tangible. They make us feel secure. But they're not built to last through every storm.
It's like trying to anchor a house on sand. When life gets tough, those things just can't hold up the same way.
Exactly. If your foundation is shaky, everything else feels unstable. Only something unchanging like faith can really carry you when things fall apart.
So, what happens when we do make something else our foundation, and then life throws us a curveball?
You realize pretty quickly that those things can't save you from real trouble. Jesus even said, "In this life you will have trouble." And I've seen that play out. Strength built on anything but him just doesn't last.
It's sobering but also kind of motivating. Like, if I know storms are inevitable, I want to be anchored to something that can't be washed away.
Exactly, and the difference is huge. When you build on Jesus, it's like he becomes your shelter through every downpour. While everything else might collapse, you're still standing.
Let's get real. Does having faith mean life suddenly gets easy? Or is it more about how you weather the storms that come?
I wish it meant life was smooth, but honestly, it's more about the foundation. Trouble still comes, like Jesus promised. The difference is, with him, you're anchored. It's not about dodging storms. It's about surviving them.
That's reassuring. I think sometimes people expect faith to be a shortcut to comfort, but it's really a source of strength to handle whatever comes.
Exactly, and verse 25 paints that picture so clearly. The rain pours, the winds howl, but if your life is built on bedrock, it won't collapse. That's the kind of security everyone craves.
Switching gears a bit, how can we actually tell what we're prioritizing in our lives? Sometimes it's not as obvious as we think.
That's true. I always look at where my time goes. If I say Jesus is important but never make space for him, my calendar tells the real story. It's about regular time, not just occasional check-ins.
That's a tough mirror to hold up. Leftovers versus first fruits, right? It's so easy to squeeze faith in instead of making it the main thing.
Exactly. When you truly put him first, even the chaos settles down. A lot of upside-down things in your life start flipping right side up.
That leads me to something else. What does it mean to rely on God for daily provision, like that whole daily bread idea?
It's about trusting for today, not expecting a lifetime supply in advance. The way the Israelites got manna every morning, just enough for one day, reminds me to keep coming back, day after day.
I like that. It keeps you humble and present, always recognizing who's actually sustaining you.
Exactly. And it keeps your relationship active. You're not just set for life and drifting away, you keep having these daily check-ins, which changes your whole perspective.
That brings up another piece, prayer. For someone just starting, what does a practical daily prayer routine look like?
Honestly, I'd start with 15 minutes at the beginning of your day. Find a quiet spot, kneel down, and pray out loud, reviewing yesterday, naming today's worries, and thanking God for getting you through.
That feels so doable. I think a lot of us overcomplicate prayer, but it's really just making space to talk honestly every day.
Totally. The more you make it a habit, the more you realize he's been there through yesterday's mess, and that gives you confidence for whatever's coming today.
Some days, carving out time feels nearly impossible. How do you stay consistent about meeting with God in the busyness of life?
It's tough for everyone, honestly. I have to literally put everything aside, my phone, work, even family sometimes, and just say, this is my retreat. It's a choice to be intentional, not accidental.
I get that. It's kind of like any relationship, you don't grow close by accident. You have to make time, even when it's inconvenient.
Exactly. And even if it's just 10 or 20 minutes, that space can totally reset how you approach the rest of your day.
After all this, maybe someone's listening and thinking, how do I actually start? What's that first concrete step toward following Jesus?
For me, I'd say it starts with an open heart, literally asking Jesus to be your Lord and Savior. Romans 10:9 puts it simply, confess and believe, and you'll be saved.
It's reassuring that it's not a complicated process, just an honest conversation and a willingness to open the door.
Absolutely. And Revelation 3:20 gives that image of Jesus knocking, just waiting for us to let him in. That first step is all about saying yes to the invitation.
Now, after starting the journey, how do we keep from growing distant over time? Life can get so distracting.
That's a real challenge. I think it comes down to seeking him, like Matthew 6:33 says, seek first the kingdom. The more we pursue, the less likely we are to drift away.
I relate to that. Just like friendships, you have to nurture the relationship or it fades. It's never too early or too late to reconnect.
Exactly. Whether you're close or feel far, it's about taking that next step, listening, following, and choosing to build your life on Jesus, day by day.